Central Texas prickly pears that grow wild have to be somewhat different than the prickly pears that grow in Arizona and Mexico, because I've seen lots and lots of videos from people harvesting, but I feel like all the fruit is a lot larger than these. And we'll talk about the inside, what's going on inside the fruit later on. But this is pretty awesome Central Texas wild growing prickly pear.
You should put this.
So I will also point out that the shirt that I'm wearing is Boone's Bay, and the color is prickly pear. And you'll see once we harvest the juice that it's almost exactly the same color. So we're back at the house now with our prickly pear apples, and the first thing that I always like to do when I get back home with them is just rinse them off. And this will kind of wash any bugs down, knock the first layer of dust off, kind of wash off that first layer of spines. And this bucket has some holes in the bottom so everything washes through and flushes out. And then be sure you rinse away all the water, just because there may be some of those little tiny spines laying on your deck now. Most of the videos have you either burning the spines off or peeling the apples to remove the spines, but this way is much more simple. You don't need any special equipment, no food processors, no blenders, no juicers, and it's pretty quick and easy. So I leave my big bucket that I rinse all the apples in outside because it has those holes in the bottom and it's going to continue dripping water for a while. But you can see this is the first batch of apples that I dumped out of the bucket and I brought inside to start working on. So I'm just going to start by dropping a few of these apples into my colander. And I'm going to turn you over so you can see my sink. And turn on the spray nozzle with a wide spray, and then just start to rinse. So shaking the apples around like that is going to knock most of the spines off, at least enough of the spines that you can carefully now handle the apples with gloves. So this is the cool part. This is where it gets easy. No peeling, no burning. So simply a sharp knife, gloved fingers. I can grab the apple, no big deal. Cut it down the middle. Look at that. This is what's cool about this fruit. Now, squeeze. And all of the meat comes right out. Look, there's virtually nothing left in that. Other side, same deal. That's it. Discard your empty peels. Deer love these. Save those. If you got deer, throw them out to the deer. If you're picking prickly pears, I'm guessing that you have deer around. This is why you should wear a Boone's Bay prickly pear shirt. Prickly pear pink shirt while processing. You can see I just got shot with pear juice, but no worries. One, it's going to rinse right out, and two, it's the same color as the shirt, so no big deal. So now you can see that a bowl this big that we started out full of apples is poured down into a bowl this big full of meat and juice and seeds. And then this is my discard bowl. So when I first started processing prickly pears, I tried sending them through a juicer.
Oh, hi!
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi!
You want to say hi to everybody? Whoa, careful. Did you fall down?
I'm okay.
You're okay, that's good. Can I get back to my video? Okay, thanks. So when I first started my experimenting processing our Central Texas Prickly Pear apples, I tried sending them through a juicer. And so I basically would cut them in half, skin on, and this was after I boiled them. I boiled them to get the spines off, and then cut them in half so they're a little bit soft. Sent the whole thing, seeds and everything, through the juicer. That basically made pink snot, because what I realized is that inside the skin is a whole lot of fiber. And so when you process the skins in your mixture, it really just looks like pink snot. So it's not appetizing at all. The second way I tried them was I ran them through a food processor. Coarse chopped them a little bit and then dumped all of that onto a pot on the stove, cooked it for an hour or so, and what I got was still pretty snotty because I had run the skins and everything through the food processor. So then I tried some methods that I'd seen on YouTube, peeling the fruit, and that was just way too time intensive. And on these smaller Central Texas pears or apples, there's just not that much meat on them, and so I'd peel and have just this very thin layer of meat between the seeds and the skin. So that wasn't really effective either. Okay, so these have been simmering for about 30 minutes. Okay. And so what I'm going to do is turn the cooktop off. Very nice. And I'm going to scrape off these seeds that have risen to the top. Let's see if we can do a better job of showing you that. Just because they have kind of a different color, and it looks like almost sort of a just kind of some buildup on them, so I don't know. So, got that scraped off. Now you can see how much juice we've rendered from that original pot of seeds and a little bit of juice. Seeds and meat and a little bit of juice. So you could probably let that render a little bit longer, but I think we're good. So I'm going to go ahead and pour this out. Here I've got my semi-fine mesh strainer in my bowl. We're just going to work with small ladlefuls. Okay, so out of our 5-gallon bucket of fruit, this is a 1.5 gallon container. So we got almost 1.5 gallons, I'd say certainly over 1 gallon of straight prickly pear juice. What's cool about this method of processing is that unlike a lot of other methods where you put all the fruit into a pot and add a bunch of water and boil it down, this is pure juice. So this can now be diluted with water and used to make jelly, or left as a syrup to put in club soda or margarita. There's really, I mean, anything that you use a syrup or fruit juice for, you can use this. So there you have it, harvesting and processing of prickly pear cactus fruit. And now that you've seen my method of how to do that, I'll show you why prickly pear was the inspiration for the name of the color of this shirt. See that? Magenta, bright pink. It's just a gorgeous color. So the very last thing I'm going to show you is the wear and tear that happened to my Boone's Bay shirt while I was making these apples. So now you know about my process for harvesting and processing Central Texas prickly pears. Now go online to boonsbay.com and check out our selection of functional, comfortable, beautiful shirts for women in prickly pear and a variety of other colors.